to this month's full moon reading, which will be in Virgo, falling on 8 in the morning, about 8:17 GMT time, and it's on the 27th, the Saturday. And it's going to be a forecast for the month from one full moon to the next, which is going to be till March 28th. So this forecast is for the next month. So let's dive in. Okay, so with this full moon falling in Virgo, just a bit about the Virgo theme. It is often very much to do about the details of our life, and combing through what's working and what's not working. Okay, now Virgo tends to be a perfectionist sign as well, very detail orientated. So this is not about being a perfectionist in any way, but to start honing in and to see where you can make changes in your life that could really help progress your life forward. Which actually brings me to the my message that I asked for before I do the monthlies, and I got free will to make changes step by step. So that's kind of like a process. Okay, so some of you might be aware that you want to make some major changes or dietary changes or changes in your life, or start building a new business. And the best way to start approaching is to make small incremental steps, and however small is a step forward. Okay, and start seeing it from that point of view. For example, I take cream in my coffee, and instead of having 2 coffees with cream maybe in a day, I will cut one back. So my second coffee will be a black one. Okay, so it's about making changes that really will stand the test of time. All right, I have found as well that any changes I've made in my life, often they were exactly done that way. I've never gone cold turkey. I've always cut back certain things with forms of habits. When I was in my 20s, I was smoking 27 a day. And then when I realized I was smoking 27 a day, I decided, wow, that's a lot of cigarettes. I'm not going to do that anymore. I couldn't even understand how I managed to consume that many. But I started making changes. So the first thing I did was I actually, rather than stop smoking, I didn't smoke, had my first cigarette till midday, and then I extended the goalpost to the 2 o'clock and then 4 o'clock, and then maybe not having the cigarette I'll normally have when I spoke to my friends on the phone, to the point that it just sort of dissipated and I didn't even smoke in the day at all. So none of these things were triggers or associations for me to smoke. Okay, so it's about finding a method, but I really believe step by step is what creates a long-standing change for ourselves. Okay, and the last message here I've got also is open your heart. So doing things that are, this is a yellow felt tip, I like doing things lucky dip. So this is the message. So also doing things that are heartfelt. Okay, now this has been a message and is very much the message of our times. We've all learned now that certain things are all, in fact, everything is impermanent, and most things, I think we've had a lot of time to reflect. Space has been created, and now it's time to really start tuning in to our hearts and to see what we can do to bring ourselves closer to our passions, to our desires, to our choices. Okay, so let's go into this reading now. Okay, so this is the energy we've come into. So I feel like some of you have been postponing things. Okay, there's been things that you realize you can't put off anymore. With this card, I'm actually using the Osho Tarot. I have not used a tarot deck for a long time in these readings, and I've decided to go back and use the Osho Zen Tarot, which looks like this. Okay, so this card is what leads us into the full moon. So I feel like many of you have been maybe trapped or feeling very restricted. We can see the frame there. And I feel that in some way there's been some definitely not leading your life to the truth of yourself. There's been very little color, so to speak. And when I say color, I'm talking about the kind of vive la joie color of yourself. Very important. Again, it's now time to start painting the picture and actually going for what you really want to create. All right. I mean, and I'm thinking when I'm saying about painting the picture as well, step by step, I feel like also it's like painting by numbers. So again, choosing certain things that you want in your life and start bringing them in, integrating them in, so you can actually start creating the whole. I like the image there. You see, it's very gray here, and that's kind of the colored bit there. So again, you know, you need to start looking at what is it that's going to expand my life? What is it that's going to bring this sort of sense of love, sense of heart, sense of sort of balanced self into my life. Okay, this is not about being imbalanced anymore. And I think a lot of people have been waking up and recognizing that certain elements of our being is really important, particularly working with the chakras. And I am very fond of the chakras, and it's one spiritual practice that I do. It is very much to do with the chakras, because the chakras to me are the energetic centers that sort of resemble or like a guitar, really. For me, it's a 7 strings or 7 energy centers. And when they are all in harmony, when they're balanced, you can actually create a beautiful tune of yourself. You tap into the core and the essence of yourself. Like the guitar as well. If you've got 1 or 2 strings out of tune, you can strum along, the guitar, but it's always going to sound somewhat discorded and out of tune. Okay, it sort of lacks harmony, so using that guitar as a metaphor, by tuning into your chakras, you can really start coming from the truth of who you are, which is ultimately what I teach and encourage and really hope to share through my tarot readings, as well as any of these sort of coaching that I do. Okay, now again, a lot of you've come to an edge. I think there's been a very edgy feeling. We've been all feeling a bit kind of constricted, trapped, and also confined due to the COVID as well, and the pandemic and all the restrictions that's happening generally everywhere, particularly socially and interrelationally. But I think also that has also had us sort of feel that we need to now start leap out and start doing something. So there's this edgy feeling, and then it's time for you to actually start, even with the restrictions, seeing where is it and how is it that I can actually start taking myself out to the world. Which is really nice, because also with Virgo, like I said, is very much about the details. Okay, it's about your health and your well-being. It's also to do with what you create, mind, body, and spirit. So I think this is a really good time to bring that to the table and start recognizing what it is that you can actually hone in and make the changes, so you can actually start feeling much more vibrant and actually really into your own. Okay, this is an opportunity as well. I think for some of you, maybe you've felt kind of like in no man's land and don't even know where to leap off in some way, or maybe you felt that you were very much in a small sort of stuck there, and now it's time for you to maybe even take a leap of faith and just see where you land. Okay, or maybe start something new as well. Even if you can't see the whole picture or any picture, where is it that you can start taking your actions step by step? Okay, if you actually allow yourself to be in the here and now, even when there are times when you don't know where to go, by just being in the here and now and trusting that you're the next step, one step at a time. You can even say, where is it? What is it that I want to do right now? All right, where is it I want to go towards or move towards? I think that is really important. But I think that will bring you to the space where you can actually start exploring where you want to go, which is really nice. Now, I've just turned over the middle card, and this is what the also full moon for me is wanting us to illuminate. So this is really in keeping with what I was saying. This is time to start sharing yourself, sharing your gifts to the world, sharing your ideas to the world, or certainly people you can trust as well. Okay, moving towards the expression. This is the Queen of Wands in the regular tarot, but in Osho, I love this card because you can see she's extremely abundant. She's sown the seeds and she's got these great flowers that's growing behind her. So this is about cultivating or having cultivated, and start recognizing where your passion lies, where your growth lies, and actually be able to offer it. Okay, your fruits of your labor as well, and lighting up the world, however small. When you start co-creating, okay, whatever seed that you might have planted, or whatever seeds you might have that you want to offer, notice that they're actually very valuable. All right, this is not a time now to start sort of feeling that you haven't got anything grand and big to share, but rather noticing what you have accumulated, what experiences have you gained, what skills and what talents have you got, and maybe taking it out into the world, and start trusting the flow of events as well that start showing up. Okay, and trusting also the messages that you're getting in order to act towards where you need to go. And I've got this wonderful card. This is the Wisdom of Oracle deck as well by Colette Baron Reid. And the card that's clarifying it and supporting is Going the Distance. So the full moon for this Virgo is also asking you to start really putting plans where you can go for the full length. Okay, it may be a marathon. Okay, for some of you, it is about you just keep on, do not lose hope, have faith. okay, and just keep on charging forward. Very, very important. Okay, and whatever it is that you are creating, this is about sustainability, okay, taking it for the long haul, okay, the ideas. And if you listen to any of my previous ones, I feel that in some way, particularly 220 now, 221, beg your pardon, is very much about sowing these seeds for the long term. Okay, we're really moving away from quick fixes, quick one-night wonder type ideas and all the kind of Instagram and Insta this and that. This is really not where things are going now. This is about, by all means, you know, use that as a platform, but this is about a long-term thing. What is it that you can offer to the world that is going to be sustainable, that's going to be nurturing, okay, and it's going to nurture not only yourself, certainly, but how you serve, okay, and your self-expression is about nurturance. Again, explore all your options. There are many, many possibilities for most of you as well. And I'm picking up that there are different strands. So if you have quite a few ideas, I suggest as well, do follow and start exploring maybe where you want to go, where you want to take your life. And again, also, how do you want your life to look? So explore all different options. Okay, this is what we're coming from. So this is about maybe some of you, as in my case, I've tried different places where I've been living. You will probably notice if you look at my previous YouTubes, are all different backgrounds. That's because I've been moving about, you know, exploring different places, moving towards my dreams, you know, making my dreams happen, making choices that fulfill me as well. Like, you know, recognizing what doesn't work. Okay, this doesn't work. So where do I need to go? How do I need to get there? Okay, and instead of postponing it, start moving towards. And those who've not been making that action, you are going to be pushed towards the edge to start actually cultivating on your truth and your creativity and your power. Okay, it's kind of like no more hiding. All right, but this is about something about long term for me very much, and you want to explore your options and see where you can take your work and where you can offer it. Okay, don't forget Virgo is a theme. So look in your chart as well. It's going to be varied for everybody where it falls in your chart. For example, in my chart, my Virgo falls in the 10th house. So it's very much to do with my careers as well. So classically, Virgo being in the 10th house, to do with mind, body, and spirit. This is my work. I've been working as a trainer, a body worker. I work with the chakras. I've done nutrition, food, nourishing foods for clients. Okay, so all that is in keeping, but now for me, maybe it is a time for me to start thinking, how can I take my work further forward? How can I also go the distance? What can I share that will stand the test of times as well and sort of last longer than a trend that comes in and then will go out? Okay, and how do I want to serve? So this is really a beautiful time to use this full moon to start cultivating, illuminating your talents and your skills, and for sure letting go of any negative thoughts of also postponing your ideas and fearing things and hiding behind a very sort of gray area of your life. Okay, so let's look at what's happening here. Okay. Wow. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. The full moon, the outcome is definitely, I think for some of you, a definite time of letting go of people who are no longer serving you. Okay. I've got here the past life also in the inverted. Okay. This is an opportunity now for you. I think as well, I feel that it's time for you to be in integrity to you. All right. Not what another person says, even what I'm saying here. Okay. To be in integrity to you. And trusting and following the voice in your being. All right, try not to get too split. So I think this time for my advice is to stay in integrity and not to sort of get pulled in various directions by other people's thoughts, or maybe even courses that there's a huge market now of online courses as well. Okay. Limit those, try not to sort of, it's very easy to sign up to so many and listen to other people's thoughts as well. Yes, they are the experts. Yes, that's what we pay for. But at the same time, start tuning into maybe what is true for you and what resonates for you as well. You might have an idea about crafting something, and then I feel the real strong message here is to be in integrity to how you might want to do, or what it is that you want to sort of do. For some reason, this is certainly not a love reading either. Okay, this is a soul guidance reading, and for those who've been tuning in, it is to do on the soul level about what you need to explore, and certainly going back into your heart as well, I think will keep you in a container of truth for yourself. Again, what's really nice as well, I think this is definitely a time to take your voice out there and to start crafting your message, if you like, what your vision could be, what your message is, maybe your offering as well. I've got here the message of the bottle, which is Colette Baron, which is clarifying that. So again, listening to what what is coming to you, what signs, symbols is actually also coming to you. What can you hear out in nature? Okay, what have you noticed that's come in your sphere, maybe 2-3 times in a short space of time? These are clued on messages for you. Okay, sometimes they come out of the blue. Okay, it is good to actually seek them out, if you like, and be conscious of the messages that could be surrounding you. But most important, paying attention to your inner world and your emotions. Okay, your emotions will guide you. Very important. I think it's really important to, I think we've sort of been indoctrinated as well that we know not to trust our emotions and our feelings. Quite the contrary. Okay, it is really important that we get in touch with that, because it is our inner compass, our emotions that inform us where we need to go, what we need to do. Okay, particularly important for those who've had that denied of yourself in the past as a child. Perhaps you weren't able to express your truth or follow your truth or follow your creative expression, or you've been told that you can't do this and you need to do that. This is really important now that you start recognizing what is really ringing true in your being. Okay, however small. It could be maybe something you want to eat. Maybe you've been following the vegan diet or a keto diet and you're thinking, yeah, something's been bothering me about it, but no, I must do this, I must do that. And then it's now time to listen. Okay, when it comes to food as well, very much a Virgo thing about food preparation and everything. Listen to your truth, okay? Not what the trends are, not what everybody else is doing, and not what your peers are doing either. Listen to your body. Is it craving some meat? Okay, is it craving some, I remember a long time ago having a craving for chicken, and I look it up, and of course it was very much about zinc. And I'd get some pumpkin seeds because I was a bit, much more of a vegetarian in those days, and kind of bordering on veganism. And, I'd eat pumpkin seeds, but it was not shifting from that craving from the chicken I wanted. So I'll buy myself, organic chicken, and I'll cook it, and then I'll eat it for a few days, and that'll be it for so many weeks and months or whatever. Okay, so it's about trusting yourself, really trusting yourself. Okay, and trusting where the information you're getting and exploring information as well and where it leads, but then just test it out, test the waters out, and recognizing, does this resonate with me? Okay, really important. Okay, and here, like I said, my message is free will to make the changes. So it's your free will. All right, you're not beholden to anybody else, any past programming, or what anybody else in your tribe or your community might think, or your family might think. This is about you having the free will to make the changes. Okay, by all means, ask the trusted friends who know you very well, who could give you the right sound bites as well as feedback. It's really important as well. And remain open is the ultimate message, and staying in the here and now. Wow, okay. I've got 2 cards here from the Surrender deck. I've opened the first one, turned it over, and we have here Surrender to Passion. So this full moon as well, let it illuminate what your passion is. What is it that you really like doing? Do you like drawing? Do you like dancing? Do you like foraging? Do you like fishing? Do you like sailing? This is now time to get out of your head and feel the fire in the belly, which is very much this solar plexus color as well. This is very much about the sun power card color rather, and it's really about trusting. So by focusing on your solar plexus, this will also help to create the fire in your belly. Okay, focus on the people and activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. So notice what is drawing you. Okay, where are you being led to? Sometimes we don't even recognize that maybe we're following a thread of something on, say, Facebook, and you end up making contact with this person. You make this contact with this person, but by making this contact with this person, it actually opens up a whole field of a bigger community, or maybe you're able to promote your work, and without the intention of initially doing that, if you know what I mean. I'll give you an example. For example, here in Portugal, there's somebody's been promoting a community sort of farmers market vegetable box. Okay, and what I like about it is I'm not really bothered about really what the cost is. Okay, but you know, I could argue that maybe it's a bit more expensive and stuff, but the actual proceeds go to help this child with a heart problem. So for me, going to this, making this arrangement to do this is part of the aspect, but at the same time, it's opening up my field of community as well. Okay, so it's just trusting where one is being led. Okay, do not fill your mind with doubts. And certainly focus on the people and activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. So the other thing is start being congruent. And I've said this before, what is it that you can do to be, you know, recognize your values. Your values tell you what you want. If you want people to reciprocate love, then start tuning into the kind of the love for yourself, which will draw people of that nature. If you have people who are actually letting you down, then maybe you're letting yourself down because you're accepting that kind of friendship. Okay, so start being really congruent and recognize what's making you feel good and what's not making you feel good. But particularly a time to follow your heartfelt expression, I would say, okay, and nurturing. Now, as you know, the people who've been following me for some time, the card I have here also, interestingly, has been my card of the week. I put it back in the deck, I shuffled it, and sometimes it really does surprise me or doesn't surprise me, the same card pops out. So the theme that not only I've been working with is very much a collective theme. And I really feel this is also very Virgo. It's about nurturing. Okay, this card actually in the chakra deck by Rachel Charman, which looks like this. I really love this very much. This is the Earth Star Chakra. Okay, so this is one goes beyond the root chakra through your feet into Mother Earth. But the sustenance that we need to get is not only from the Mother Earth herself, but how we nurture ourselves. This is the foundation of everything that stems outwardly. Okay, when we start looking after ourselves, we will feel far more nourished, loved, and nurtured. And this is about giving yourself, you know, the what I'm getting here is kind of looking after yourself as if you were a tender child, or looking at yourself as if you really were very caring and gentle and compassionate towards yourself. Okay, this also is very much the lion image here, and my eyes are being drawn to the solar plexus color, and the lion often is to do with the sign of Leo, as well as the kind of the power. Okay, so I am going to also recommend that you tune into your solar plexus here to give you personal power and a sense of empowerment, and making choices that empower your mind, your body, and your spirit as well, and doing things that will nurture that, and in that way also it will empower you. Okay, so this is a really nice card to focus on in terms of nurturing. So think of the word nurturing, okay, and maybe taking free will steps to make those changes that actually nurture you, okay, and take step by steps, all right, because that's the best way to actually make long-term changes. Wow, okay, I just turned this card, and this is, there you are, the lion in the full power. So, okay, it says your life is calling you to step into your full power than playing it small. Okay, again, the word steps jumping out to me. So take a step forward, take a big step forward, a small step forward. It doesn't matter, wherever you are, take a step forward. And it says your life is calling you now. So this could be also to do with your work as well, and start saying, okay, now I am, you know, I feel like we're moving out of a rather constricted times. Okay, we're still very much under restriction. I know there's been some flurries of possible less limited, okay, or a contracted kind of restriction. But it is time now, wherever you are, okay, our power is within ourselves, and even within the limitations and the restrictions that we can be physically in, okay, it's about being in our own sovereign. Okay, if you think of Nelson Mandela, for example, you know, he was actually in a cell, in a box, in a cell for 25 years, and he came out in his full power when he was released. Okay, so it's not necessarily also the environment that we live in, but it's our inner power that we are being. And I think when you come from a place of integrity, a place of your own inner star, okay? No outer person can really, or situation can really disrupt that. Okay, and it is really important to start recognizing and owning that power. And so coming back to that Virgo, see where that falls in your chart. It could be to do with your family life. Maybe you need to claim some power around that. Maybe it's to do with your self-expression. Maybe it's to do with, you know, if that's in the third house, maybe it's about how you earn your money as well. That's on the second house. Again, just have a play. Okay, just Google Virgo in the second house, if that's where your Virgo falls, what house it falls into. Okay, now Virgo is also ruled by Mercury, which is also to do with the expression. So it is very much a time to express yourself and make changes around those areas that are pertinent to you in your personal life. This is very much a time of actually really following the light, having a sense of adventure, and really creating new visions. Okay, so I feel that this is a really, really good time to start exploring. I've looked at the bottom of the deck here, and these are the cards that have come out. This, you know, this is very much, you know, for me, always the Hermit card is about going inward, but look at the light there. Just start following that trail, that light. All right, and here we've got this inner child again. This is a card of exploration, and again, full on chakras there. Work with your chakras, okay, and really start tuning in your chakras, particularly the solar plexus. If you're going to work with one, then I recommend for this month, it is the solar plexus. And also a time to, again, coming out. You see this new vision. The light is a bit awkward. Can you see here? There's like a birthing or coming out. There's a figure there. Just about see it in this new vision. So again, where do you want to aim? Start directing your goal. All right. And good thing about Virgo is all about precision. Okay, but it's not about being like a perfectionist, like, oh, you know, you have to have room for flexibility and allowance, but where and how do you want to put, you know, what dreams do you want to call in and start creating? So now is the time to start exploring, being in integrity, and putting your vision out there for the full blown distance. Okay, is there anything I want to share with you? I've got here to do with a Virgo sign. Okay, so the organs that tend to be affected. So this is also a really good time of the year to start doing a bit of a cleanse, maybe cutting back on some heavier foods. Okay, this is to do with your digestive tract, colon, and your small intestine as well, and your pancreas. Okay, it also affects your eyes and ears. So maybe even, you know, because it's a theme, maybe how can you actually take care of your eyes and ears a bit more? You know, pay attention. If you've got some aches there, maybe there's something on an energetic level that is communicating to you on the soul level as well. And then also, I would say actually use your eyes and ears. Okay, notice what you see and notice what you hear. This is my little guidance for you for this month. Okay, apparently it says surgery is not a time for this full moon. So again, you know, maybe cancel it because you've got surgery coming up. But it does say surgical operations are strongly not recommended during this full moon. Yeah. Not wanting to scare you or anything like that when it comes to that, you know. We are coming out of Mercury retrograde, so hopefully things will start easing up. Mercury is definitely moving forward, but we're still in its kind of integration phase, or what's called the shadow period, so we're not fully out of it yet. Okay, this is quite nice. At the bottom of the deck of my Moonology card, this is the end of a tough cycle approaches. And this is what I was saying actually about the feeling of an opening from the restrictions. Okay, I do feel that somehow there's a shift of energy that we're moving into, and there's a sense of, we're only at the beginning and kind of at the early stages of it, you know, but there's some changes. I know for myself and some people around me as well, we're experiencing a change of environment, a change of times, and there's an energetic change, that shift is happening. And I feel it has been tough. Okay, we've had to sort of really, we've been challenged. I got the 10 of Wands then, and just in my mind, 10 of Wands is very much about, you know, it's quite challenging. There's been challenge after challenge after challenge after challenge after challenge, you know, and you've had to kind of, you know, obstacle after obstacle, and you've had to get over that. So I feel like we're coming out of that. Okay. And another interesting card that dropped out in the shuffle there was looking at the bigger picture. Again, like I said, we're not going to see the full picture. Okay, some of you don't even know where exactly things are going yet, or we don't even know, or we've come into that space and we don't even understand why certain things have happened. Okay, and you might be in a place right now that you're not quite sure even why you're there, okay, or how it's all going to pan out, but just trust to look at the bigger picture. Things often happen for a reason. And this is the full moon in Sagittarius here in terms of the card. And there's an archery sign. Again, it's about putting they're very similar to this, okay, kind of aiming and putting your focus out there. So just aim and just trust that the bigger divine or the divine intelligence will take you there, okay? So surrender to passion is really important, and surrender to your full power. All right, as to finish this reading for this month, I'm going to pull a card. Well, I want to fall out an empowering question, okay, to see perhaps if anyone who wants to partake in this, what question might help us for the next month. Okay, there's one's turned over here. Okay, what is it? Well, there's one in the deck that's turned over here. What is my life like when it is in balance? So again, a good time to balance, make changes. Okay, like I said, taking step by step. If you've been eating too many sugars, now it's time to balance it. Okay, this is very much about bringing things back in order, and allowing your sort of changes to happen, to recalibrate and to rebalance. Okay, so again, if you've been sort of over stagnant and staying indoors, maybe it's certainly like spring is here now or approaching, maybe it's time to take longer walks and start bringing, whatever it is, there is a message here for some of you for sure. What is my life like when it is a balance, or even what can I do to balance my life up? Okay, so if there's any sense of lack of balance, I would suggest that, and this one also fill out, why am I doing the things I'm doing right now? So this is a question as well. Now, if you don't know, or because you feel like you have to, okay, I would say then take the have tos out. Okay, it's time to just start doing things in integrity. Okay, why am I doing the things I'm doing right now? Okay, ask yourself that question and see if it really resonates with the truth of your being, and start moving your life towards things that make sense to you in terms of moving forward. Okay, now if you can answer that question, that you're doing this right now because you're taking this to the next step, or there's something else that's going to lead you to that, then you are certainly on the right track. Okay, I'm just going to have a look. Yeah. Okay, there were 3 cards that came here, but I don't think I really need to read them. Just make sure that some of you are not repeating the same old patterns, and you're feeling, it's very important now that you start paying attention to actually allowing people to start helping you, or maybe seeking out people who can help you. All right, it is really important. And if you're just somebody who's also always dependent on other people, the message will be the other way around. Okay, it could be a never-ending story that you do, that you might need to actually start cultivating on the truth of your being. Mahatma, this is the card that's okay. I feel like in some way for some of you as well, this is now time to stop doing things that you don't love anymore. Really, quit it. The message here, and probably no doubt will be for many, and for many months to come as well, because these themes are long standing. We've got Saturn and Uranus as well, which is a card of conflict. Okay, Uranus is about spontaneity, about genius, about lightning ideas, and Saturn's about the stern father. When are you going to do this? And start putting things step by step in the order of things, and having to do things in an orderly way as well. All right, so maybe some of you might feel that you're in a bit of conflict about certain things. If some of you are in a relationship or in a job situation that you really can't stomach anymore, and it's kind of going on and on, I really recommend that you actually start stepping up and seeing where else you can actually get some either financial aid. I'm not talking about aid, but where else you can earn your money as well, and start cultivating on something that has far more of a firmer footing, if you like, and more support for your sense of self, okay? And moving towards people and things that really feed your sense of being. All right, I'm going to end it here. Thanks for listening. This is Virgo full moon, which is going to be on the Saturday, the 27th, 8 a.m. in GMT time. So obviously on the night, on the Friday, you'll see the full moon pretty much, and certainly definitely full on the Saturday night. So do take yourself up and give yourself a moon bath, okay? Allow the moon rays come out if you can see it. If the sky is clear, certainly, and then maybe write what it is that you want to let go of, and know that the changes that you need to make and start maybe carving out a few steps that you can take step by step, day by day, or week by week to start making those changes, okay? And whatever you do, maintain an open heart, okay? That's really, really important. And one way to do that is to stay in your heart center, not trying to go too fast forward or too back, you know, and stay in the presence of yourself by nurturing all that you are and all that you love, okay? And no longer postponing anything. Lots of love. Thanks for listening. And all my details are in the description box. You can book a reading with me as well, and that's down at the description box. I will be starting a new donation platform as well, where you can start donating for any of these readings, which will allow me to start putting and designing my own deck of cards, which I'm really looking forward to start creating as well. And some other ideas that I have had that's been come through in the times of what I would call feeling very kind of incubated and kind of quiet. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. I will catch you in my next new moon upload, which will be in 2 weeks' time. Bye for now. Bye.